Hello, everybody. I'm going to bring on Leslie to be with me. Hi,
Hello.
Leslie.
Hi.
So, Leslie is one of our, well, she's our color therapy trainer and also on our leadership team. And I am the founder of Transformational Tools. And I am so excited to be here. I always love being here. And the people that come over and over again, we have a really good time together and learn a lot. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
I was just telling Leslie before we got started how many different things went sideways this morning. And if you've had any kind of experience like that, put it in the chat because it's like we can say, okay, it's okay. We're in this together.
Yeah.
So I see many of our friends here already, and Will is our faithful and Sandra's here and Sue is here. Oh, you guys, we're so glad you're here. And others will be joining us. So,
Mhm.
what we do here is that we do a little bit of review of what's happening in May. We have a theme, which I am going to put up, and we will be able to see what that's about. And we'll talk about the luminary for May and the color for May. And then we'll go into what's happening in this coming week, which starts tomorrow and goes through next Thursday. And we'll do a luminary and also a color card for that. And then we have some announcements that we'd like to offer you. And then we will go into doing an individual little mini reading for you. So prepare to have a good time. Here we go. I'm going to put this up, Leslie. I was able to get it so that we could see this. This is our theme for the month. Just think about this now: steadiness amidst uncertainty and expansion. And this, I think, it's not a conundrum, but it's kind of a something that you wouldn't try to put together, uncertainty and expansion, and then try to stay steadfast in the middle of that. That's really quite something if we can do that. So what we have to do is to look at how can we stay steady. Um, I know when things don't go right, which is this morning I had technical stuff going on, couldn't print, and things like that. And I have to do something to release that. Otherwise, I just get caught up in it. But I feel more grounded now, and I hope all of you are working on staying grounded. I live in a place now where I see out my window; it's all trees. That's very grounding for me. Almost every day, I see a deer coming through the yard, so it's a wonderful place to be. But in the midst of this, there is uncertainty. There's uncertainty out in the world because of what's happening in the world. There may be uncertainty about your finances. There may be uncertainty about what's going to happen to prices and things like that. But the other part of it is that there's expansion going on, which means that each of us are here expanding into something more than where we are already. And that here now, so here's uncertainty and here's expanding. And it's kind of like we have to be able to find that steadiness and hold those two things and not get all upset about it, but just say, okay, I'm going to stay right here, right now, this moment, and whatever happens, I will be able to take care of that. So, anything you want to say about that, Leslie, and before we go on and work on dawning?
As you were talking about, having both like this, I was
Yeah,
thinking of a teeter-totter, you know, because or trying to balance on a ball or something.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like it is a way of approaching it that it just seems that we're getting better and better at it as we keep going. But it takes some effort and work and knowing and
That's,
trusting. And I think we're going to find that today too.
I think so too. And this is going on through the end of the month. And we've seen over time that there's been a lot that where we've been asked to stay grounded, stay present, to not get overly upset or excited about something, but see if we can go inside and find what we need there and find the answers there.
Mm.
So, what I want to do now is put up the dawning luminary. That is the one that is for this month. I love this one. It's so beautiful, and if you notice that it is a number 11 because of the numbers of repetitions, which means I always think of anything beyond 10 means that you are expanding. You're going into a new phase, or you're going into a new frequency, or whatever that might be. And one of the things that I got out of the book, which, by the way, I wrote, and then Lorinda Eileen did the art, which we love this art. And what I found that was in the book, because all of that sort of came through me. So I go back and look at it sometimes and go, whoa, I don't remember doing that. Anyway, the part I picked out was, you are transforming. And see, that's part of this expansion thing. There's a certain amount of transformation that goes on. And as you focus on dawning, feel yourself bursting into full bloom like a flower in spring. And I go, I don't know if I'm ready to be in full bloom, but that's what I'm focusing on now. And allow your expanding energy to become its full self. Now, that really makes sense to me. It's like full self, meaning, who am I as a soul in form right now? And how can I be fully that here in this place of confusion sometimes? And then it says, be with this self, the one that you are going in to be fully that, until it feels comfortable, almost familiar. So, it's almost like we have to be with this transformation that's going on, and with ourselves in the midst of that, until it feels almost familiar. So I want you to also see in this luminary, you will see on the outside here, it looks like things that may be shooting out, or a flower that's coming into full bloom. And what's in between there are a lot of different definitions that people have for that. So it's whatever it is for you. But what you can see is in many ways, this is where the outside ring is coming from. In fact, this was created in layers. And then in the very center is this core that's a crystalline core. But I see this part here, the white, it almost looks like that's the fog, because it's covering up some of this, of what this is that's coming up. So, and it talks about coming through the fog of uncertainty. So that's part of what's going on. And Leslie, what would you like to add to that?
Oh, one of the parts that really spoke out to me was, be with the self until it feels comfortable. And the self that you are going to, and you're expanding into. And boy, that has been interesting as we move forward, to think about that for myself, where I am moving to, and how to be comfortable with that. More and more just go, okay, this is, I'm expanding. This is great. I'm moving into it. Yep, a little bit scary, but but when I get that little bit scary part, I do investigate and go, why does this need to be? What if it wasn't scary? What would it be? Oh, it'd be exciting, and so I kind of try to put that spin on it when it gets and I get feeling a little apprehensive. But I love that about, you know, just keep being with it and be with it and be with it until it feels more and more comfortable. I love that part.
And I'm thinking here, Marion was with us. Was it last week or no, the week before? I think. Anyway, what she often talks about is how important it is that we be in the fresh, the energy that's fresh, the newness that's coming in. And when I look at dawning, it's very fresh to me. It feels like it's cleansing, and it feels like it's invigorating. So, however this is for you, if you have the luminaries, go ahead and get that one out and just put it out where you can see it through the rest of May. All right, so now the color card for May is red, and I didn't bring out a red color card, but you can see the beautiful red here in this. And then Leslie has the card there. And this is the lesson in red. And what stood out to me from the book was the part that's called anger and frustration. And when anger and frustration continue to leak out from the first chakra, which is from the middle of your hips down to the bottom of your feet, the red energy can end up in the joints of the body, causing inflammation and swelling and pain. So if you've been feeling some of that, I have a knee that keeps talking to me. But when I get out and walk more, it feels better. So it's probably just telling me get out and walk more. And then today, when I got frustrated, what I do is I call a little hissy fit. And I just go for 2 seconds, and then I'm okay. So it doesn't go into my body. It's when the part of you that feels frustrated is allowed to vent and then given the opportunity to flow through the heart, you may find the pain diminishing. And I will talk about using red and green here because that's what we do with the colors, the complementary colors. So your heart center is actually the color green, and its complement is the red that goes from hips down to the feet. Well, as you're working with this particular sense of anger and frustration, you can take that green and that red and mix them together, but they don't mix, but have them flow together. They each keep their individual attributes, but they work together, and they work to clear out anything that you're done with or anything that's hanging on to you. So what would you say about that part, Leslie?
Well, I would say that when they work together in that flow, that it begins to bring in the energies of each. And when it does, it's interesting to me how it is complementary, because the red is like energizing and the green is like it can be calming to me when I'm using it. And it just kind of begins to bring it into focus, bringing it into balance, and saying, yes, these two can complement each other. They can work together, and they can, when you're in that state of acceptance and in that state of openness and list and having them work together, that allows you to get some perspective, not only in your thinking, but in your body. Your body responds to it as well as your brain.
And something else that we can do is if you do have some kind of inflammation or something that's bothering you, like in your legs or feet or whatever, you can swirl the red and green there, and it will begin to help that heal. Because it's like you say, Leslie, it brings about a balance in there. It's a balance of masculine and feminine energy. It's a balance of what we know from the inside and what we know from the outside. So it's really, that's why this kind of color therapy works so well. And if it doesn't completely take care of it, then you go and say, okay, there's something more. I got to find out what that is. And that really helps us to know where we need to move inward to find out what the answers are. All right, well, let's go on to the luminary for this week, which is this one here, which is presence. And presence has the numbers 8 and 64. So if you work with numbers of any kind, or if they speak to you, each of the luminaries have numbers that you'll want to go into and feel the frequency that's there. And this particular luminary, I think of presence as presence of anything that is spirit, which everything is around us, but we aren't always aware of it. It's our inner spirit. It's the spirit of the earth. It's the spirit of guides that you might have, or just the sense of someone that passed that you're very close to, or just for someone who sees this, would call this God or spirit, or what we have a lot of different ways of speaking about it, but that presence can be right here with us right now. And here's one of the things that it says in the luminary for presence. Before a thought can contain it, you know how sometimes maybe you feel the presence of someone and you're not quite sure who it is, so your mind goes there thinking about that, and then it's not there anymore. It's like the thought tries to hold on to presence, and you can't really hold on to presence. So, but before a thought can contain it, presence breathes and shifts as needed. Softly, it imprints wisdom within and channels divine mind through those who are willing. So, in other words, you have to be open to presence too. And I think this week we may need that kind of wisdom. That just to be have presence with us, in whatever form that is, and that can really help us through anything that is difficult for us to deal with, because sometimes expanding can be difficult, and sometimes it's things that you're trying to accomplish and it's not going the way you want it to, and then you just go, okay, deep breath, and you allow yourself to just move down into presence. And you can think of it as this luminary that you're just moving down into the middle of that luminary, and look at that beautiful crystalline center, and you can put that right where your heart is, and then around you is this beautiful indigo color that really opens us up to presence, and there's a turquoise in there. And it's like it's just radiating, and you can have that radiating out through you. So, Leslie, what would you say about that?
I would say that the presence around us, like you said, it has many expressions, many names. And as I was looking at this part of what it was saying in the book, it says you can join that flow and expansion, and as long as fear is put away. And it also asked the questions, where do I find divine presence in my life? And I think that was good for you to give some examples, of ways we can tune into that. I think some ways are, like you said, you can drop down into it. You can use this beautiful card to move into the energy of that. Some people use meditation. Some people use breathing exercises. I mean, there's lots of different ways to focus inward or focus that way for yourself. And also that I find that it expands my willingness to receive things from what I would say, not my mind, but maybe interactions with other people. And then, this synchronicity happens. This uh, word or spoken, or just even the the like sometimes with my father, I would think about him and I would think, oh, I got to make a phone call. And in the next couple minutes, I'd get a phone call and he'd say, well, it took you long enough, you know. And we used to joke around like that, but we really did have amazing timing with each other. And that was just one way that appeared for me in my life. But we can look for those places and be open to them because they
Yeah.
can be a lot of wonderful guidance.
Well, the other thing is that the color card that was here for this one is the strength in turquoise, and you can see here that there's turquoise throughout this card, and turquoise is located below your throat and above your heart. Many times it is called the high heart. And I know before, Leslie, when we've gotten the turquoise, you've talked about just tapping on the heart. Yeah. And that's part of your immune system. It will help your immune system. And I always find that this turquoise area is really calling to us about expanding, about saying yes to something new in our lives and in our way of offering what we came to do in this world. So it's kind of interesting that it came up in the luminary. That color came up in the luminary. Yeah. And in the other one, the red came up in it. So, and I always do this without looking at the cards, without looking at what I'm picking, but just asking, is this the right card for this week? And so I just think it's interesting when that kind of thing comes together. And what I picked out from the turquoise is the strength in turquoise is following the heart, because this is your high heart, and you're following what your guidance is from the high heart. So when you sense and feel through your heart, you allow in your life. You allow in your life. You trust what comes from the soul center of your heart. This is your connection to the source. This is your connection to the earth. From here, you integrate your life. What your life is about fuels your thoughts. It fuels your thoughts so that it comes from the center through the thoughts. And it also fuels your actions and responses, because responses are really important, where you come from in your response. And what you value engages your time and energy. When you are focused on that high heart and the heart itself, and you are open to what is coming to you and the grounding that you have, then you will know how to live your values, the things that mean the most to you, and they will engage your time and energy, and all works together for fulfillment and the joy of life. And one of the things that I've found over the years is if we are getting so absorbed in the outer world that we're not standing and feeling into our purpose here, or what it is that we came to offer, there's a lot of times you will get depressed. But if you can shift that into your high heart and into your heart, what you're going to find is that's where the answers are. That's where the next step is. And so it's really important that we follow what comes through us from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the part of, I loved all that part that you were talking about. And I thought, it leads to this next piece that I'd like to add to. says you allow your life to unfold naturally. Where others may force an outcome, you quietly wait, knowing you will be shown the next step. This allows for the synchronicity of events. There is peace in this kind of living. You trust life's flow. And I really feel like that is a piece of what we've been, looking at and facing in these times where it gets pretty hectic. That when we trust and allow things to unfold naturally, let's say you start something and then, it doesn't work the way you think it should work or as fast as you think it should come, and then you're like, oh, well, I guess I was wrong. Well, maybe not. Give it a moment, give it some time. And boy, that has been really valuable to me to just be at peace and let it allow, whatever is to come to come. So, yeah, that's coming from that beautiful turquoise place.
And also for presence. So it's sort of like both of these together are saying to us, listen, be with your inner self, allow presence to help you with it, with guidance and with being able to kind of move out into whatever is next, and trust, because both presence and turquoise has to do with trust.
Absolutely. I love how it comes together that way.
I do too. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take this off.
Hi, Rita. Hi, Mia. Hi, Pam.
You see other people. I haven't seen who's there, but Rita's here. Thank you, Rita. We're so glad. And Mia's here.
Yeah.
All right, and Pam Yates. Oh, welcome. All right. So I want to just take a couple of minutes to let you know what's happening. Many of you are part of our group called the Vortal, which is our community, and we're meeting this Sunday at 2 p.m. and that's in Pacific time. And we will be working. Well, here's the funny thing: is Dodie, who's on our leadership team, Peter was going to interview her this time, but it turned out that the timing wasn't right for her. So guess what? He's interviewing me. And he started interviewing me just to see where we might go with it, and I thought, wow, I'm so immersed in this, you could ask me anything. Because I live this, and I do a lot of thinking, but thinking with that energy of knowing as well. So it's going to be fun, I think. And then we're going to talk about a little bit from the work I do, but also then about this idea of steadiness amidst uncertainty and expansion. And then everybody's going to have a chance to share with someone else when we do a breakout group. And it's always good to get to know the other people a little better, and also to have an opportunity to think about what this kind of thing means. So I wanted you to know that it's really easy to sign up for the Vortal. You can just go to transformationaltools.com, and you'll find there in the menu where it says Vortal, and you can learn about it, and then you can sign up there if that's something. It's just $7 a month, and we give you a number of things that might cost something to somebody else, but we just want to make sure that we're helping you who are in the community go through your life in a way that is really taking you to your inner truth and helping you to live from there. So, and then the other thing that's happening on May 20th, which is, I think, next Tuesday. Yeah. Then it's a journal with your knowing self. And many of you have experienced that before. And for those in the Vortal, it's for free. And for those who haven't signed up for the Vortal, it's $25, and it's an hour and a half. And I've changed the time, and it's at 6:30 p.m. and at specific time. Now I know that's going to be late for those of you who are in Eastern time, but it's just an experiment to see, because I know people that are working, they don't get home if they're here in the Pacific Northwest. They don't get home until 6:30 or maybe a little bit later. All right. So, and the other thing is that if you have enjoyed these the cards that we're working with, then you can go on transformationaltools.com and just in the menu, it says Oracle decks. And you can find these. And there's also in the home page there, it'll say it's what's coming. Let's see, it's coming up next or something of that, a word that upcoming. That's what it is, upcoming. And that will give you how to sign up for the Journal with Your Knowing Self. And it will also have how you can find out more about the Wordle. So, and also about the cards. So anyway, that I just wanted to let you know that, because we're here to be of service and to help you have your life feel like it's working, and that you can feel some real joy coming up and know that you're doing what you came here to do. Anything you want to add to that, Leslie?
No, I mean, I think you covered it.
Okay.
You got it.
All right. So let's go ahead and start with our cards. And you tell me what I'm looking for, or whether it's a luminary color card.
I'll try to do that.
What we're doing this for.
Yes, we're going to start with Will.
Okay.
And yeah, I think you're luminary first.
Okay. All right. Let's see what's up for Will in the luminaries. Is this it? Yes. Oh boy, you're really into dawning. So, Will, what I'm feeling is that the universe is asking you to take a few minutes and think about a time when you were sitting on the mountain or on a trail, and you were in the dawning of the day, or sitting in your yard, and that you were feeling what that's like, the newness of that, the crispness of that, and the sense that as you watch, the light gets lighter and lighter, and you begin to get filled with that. And in that process, you will find that there are thoughts coming to you, but they're coming from your heart, from your inner knowing. And this is going to be really a wonderful experience for you. And if there's an actual morning that you could do this, that's fine. Or you can do it in meditation, because we are there if we're doing it in meditation, just as we are there if we're actually watching the dawning. So.
And the color card. Can we make the picture just a little bit bigger, do you think?
Yeah, let's see. I'm afraid
if you can't, that's okay.
If I do that, so oh no, here's where it is. Okay. Yeah.
So what I pulled is the lesson in gold, right? What you're learning now will soon become your strength. I think that goes right along with what you just said. I mean, it's like what you are open to and expanding into, that newness, that crispness, like you said.
That's Christmas.
Yeah. And letting the light in more and more, that's going to really reveal this gold strength, this activeness, being active in that, because gold is really about what we call the active or masculine expressions in ourselves. And but I also see the silver here, and I think the balance is good. But I'm definitely getting it right along with what Arlene was saying about your thoughts, and allowing that to just be fresh be fresh.
Yeah. Yeah. And who's next? And I'll do
Sandra.
Sandra. Okay, Sandra. Let's see what's up for you this week. Well, I got the lesson in blue, Sandra. And the lesson in blue, I'm feeling into that to see exactly what that's about for you. Because, it says on here, speak your truth from deep within. It's for you, it's even more than that. What I'm getting is that there's a need for you to acknowledge your voice, and get more and more comfortable with the wisdom that comes through your voice. And that doesn't mean that everything we speak is wise, but there's an energy to that that will help you to um, radiate your wisdom in a way that may be just energy, and maybe just others will recognize that. Do you get anything more about that, Leslie?
Mm, I do think it's about speaking your truth and speaking out and knowing how much of that affects others. You know, yeah, that's definitely what I'm getting with it. And her luminary is passionate ascension.
Ah, that's a beautiful one. It's right up
Mhm,
top here.
mhm. It's the vibration of number 4 and 8. And this first part is really what jumps out. Um, it says, now's the time to leap with faith into an unknown world. Let your passion propel you inward to your core in order to combust outward into a new way of being without looking back. And it talks about, that there's been people before us, and they had the courage to follow their inner promptings. Well, this is about that same um, happening for you. And the fact it talks about going in, going into your inner core and letting it come out from there as your expression, that's going to help. I just feel like the fire and the um, propellant in this is propelling you to open your voice, to express yourself more, um, because it's ready. It's ready for you. And it's saying it's time to, um, join the others that have been doing this and take your place in that group of people who are speaking their truth and are living it outwardly. Anything else?
So I see that Sandra is saying her son doesn't want to hear her talk. I think we all get that. You know, what I'm learning so much and have been over the years is it's it's how we use our words, because words can put people off if that's not where they're coming from. But you can still use words that are in alignment with who you are. And it's not about trying to get someone else to agree with you. And I know you know that, Sandra. It's about just being willing to let that come through you with this energy of love. It and doesn't have any hidden meanings or hidden things beside inside of it. So this is a really important time now for you to think about how you could do that leap of faith.
Oh,
All right,
yes.
who've we got next?
Sue.
Hey, Sue, let's see what's up for you. Okay, this one's for Sue. Oh, boy, I love this, but it always pushes us. This one's called Crown. And, we think of crown as somebody who wears a crown is a potentate or whatever, and a king or queen or something. And this is about this is about understanding that you are putting on the crown of awakening. And you have to be to that point where you can say, well, I can feel that now. And that's your soul energy that's coming in and saying, it's time to just allow your soul to be present and shining out, and for you to have a confidence of being that and not feel like somehow you're putting yourself above other people, because you're not. When it comes from your soul, it's just recognizing what you came here for and that you're standing in that. And that's exactly what you're here to do. And then you end up encouraging someone else to step up and recognize that they can have that crown as well, that crown of awakening. So think about this, Sue, and think about how this is the time for this.
And Sue, the lesson is in yellow for you.
Yes.
Claim your empowerment.
Yeah.
So this is like double saying, yep, what they said. You know, how that happens sometimes. It's like your empowerment is exactly what she's been talking about. And remember, this is in the solar plexus area, the color is. So if you're going to be working with that color to help you to claim your shining soul there, you can see it in the crown.
This one is more of a gold that's in there, but it still has that empowerment. This is like more of an empowerment in the human plane. And the other one is the empowerment that's coming through from your soul.
Yeah.
So, and the center of that has yellow too, doesn't it?
Yeah, in the center it really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, time to shine.
Yes. All right, who's next?
Jeannie S.
All right, Jeannie.
Hi, Jeannie.
I'm glad you're here. I'm color card, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's not it. You know, sometimes I say, is this the right card? And I get, no, that is. Okay. Wow, Jeannie, you'll love this one. This is the strength in brown. And usually what that means is that you are doing a good job of grounding with the earth, with the love that's in the earth. And I always see this shade of brown, like it's really very vibrant soil, you know, that has lots of nutrients in it, lots of food for the plants. And it's like it says on here, nurturing, safe, and earth connected. And I feel like you're coming into a new understanding of nurturing yourself. And then that nurturing energy is expanding out to the people around you, your family, your friends, and even people that you meet on the street. And it feels so good when you have that coming from within you and it's radiating out, and it feels like you're safe. It feels like you're being nurtured. And at the same time, you're extending that out to other people. Oh, that feels good.
Okay. Well, Jeannie, what I drew here was spheres of intention. And it says to choose the direction of your life from your deepest desires. And to me, when this goes with brown and to do your own nurture, you also and nurture others, you're also getting this beautiful invitation to, by doing that, to draw others to you and maybe be in a group of people, a community, and that has the similar intention as you do. And it says, manifest your desires from that place. So I'm seeing it as a way of connecting for you out there. Blue is a lot about communication and expressing your ideas. Arlene, I know you have more on this for her.
Well, what I was feeling was that uh, this is, Jeannie, this is about the intentions that you have. These little circles can be intentions. And then your intention from the center is your intention comes through you from spirit. It's what you came here to do as a soul and form. And then you can have these other intentions around there. And if there are others that have similar intentions, they will pick up on that fact that you also have that intention, and it'll be a wonderful conversation or a sense of camaraderie, a sense that there's somebody else here that feels this way too. And I think that's going to be feel so good to your soul and to your heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Okay, Pam Yates. Pam is back. She's been here, I think, just once or twice before. So she's
Hi,
next. She's next.
All right, so let me see here. What's for Pam?
Yeah.
That one maybe. Maybe I have two. I don't know. This one's for Pam. All right, let me just see what this other one is. Oh, this is a great combination. Okay, this one is called Core Crucible, Pam. And Core Crucible is about allowing the things that you're finished with to go into the center of this crucible, which is a place where things can be transformed, transmuted into just energy that you can use. And when we first were using this, I felt like the energy was extremely strong. And now that we've been using it for a while, it's like the energy here is compassionate. It surrounds you with love. And at the same time, it works with you to transform anything that you're done with, anything that you want to just release. And then this one is called Love Child. And Love Child is here to be with the part of you that is very vulnerable, so that as you're making these changes, that part of you feels safe, feels loved by you, it feels loved by the universe, and it feels like it can come forward, because a lot of times we've had hurt and things that have happened in our lives, especially in our childhood. And now is the time that all of that is being transformed into energy of love and energy of coming together. So I think that's kind of cool too. Both of them came up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And your color card is the lesson in indigo. And it asks you to trust what you know. Trust what you know. And indigo is a very, to me, it's a very high level energy. And it is, we locate it like in the back of our head back here. And that's called Gateway to the Universe. I always like that phrase with it. And it's really about that deeply intuitive self, that self that might receive messages or synchronicities, things like that. And being in that place, it's like saying when that comes to you, when you're in those states, trust what you know then. Trust what's true for you in yourself. Trust what messages you might be hearing, because they are divinely inspired. Anything else you want to say?
Well, Pam, I feel like you're going to be opening up to some more expansive abilities that come from this part at the base of the skull, because everybody has abilities, but we all, in some ways, I know when I was young, I pushed them away. And so it can just be curious about it and see what happens. But it can be that you have a deeper sense of what's going on around you, or it's kind of like Leslie said, that you know somebody's going to call, or they know that you're going to call, and it's just different ways that each of us have for recognizing that it's more than our senses here in our body. It goes way beyond that to senses that are really about knowing things that you didn't know, or being able to do things that you didn't know you could do. So pay attention to that. There's something really going to be happening with that for you.
Mhm. Wonderful. Okay, we have Rita. Rita?
And I'm doing a color card.
Yeah.
All right, Rita.
Mhm.
Well, we got another one that's a lesson in blue. All right, Rita, this for you. We've been encouraging you a lot about your art, and so blue can be about speaking, but many times it's just about expressing. And your art is such a wonderful way that you express, and it's just saying, speak your truth from deep within. I think it's bring forward the art that's in you from deep within, because it has messages for you and for the world. So,
I'm also getting express your truth from deep within, like verbally, or, um, sometimes we go through times where we're in friendships, or we're with our family, and we think, gosh, I really haven't told them I love them recently, and I should do that. And, you might get that prompt, or you might say, you might just allow those expressions to freely flow through your life. I know you do that a lot, and it's saying, please keep it up.
we got Mia too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I am. I am. I'm not going to forget. It's just sometimes I don't write them down in
Yeah.
the order, because I
Yeah.
just notice them at different times.
So I'm doing a luminary.
Yeah, but we're not done with
Oh, sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Rita yet.
Yeah.
I'm doing the luminary part for her, and it is wings. Okay.
Oh, that's so perfect.
And see, while I'm getting my page here.
Let me get that out so I can hold it for you.
Yeah, maybe you could hold it up for me. It says, to fly free into the depths of your soul felt desires. This is where dreams manifest. It feels like to me that your dreams are beginning to really become more often, more recent, more um, available, as you kind of slow down and ponder things. And sometimes life can get busy, but you do take time, maybe take even more time, to be in that conscious place now and then, to really know that your dreams that you're dreaming are really beginning to manifest to a greater degree right now in this time of expansion. And though you might be reconsidering things, and the way you have thought about them in the past, that's really opening up for you. It just, that white burst in the middle of it just really stands out to me in this card, and says, I'm bursting to get out and welcome this new energy and this new burst of energy into my life and into my expression. That's what I'm getting.
I was drawn toward that center as well. And what I see there, Pam, is that you are sitting in this place in the center. It's almost like a part of you has been not asleep, but has just been waiting. And it's sitting in this beautiful center, and it's ready to go out into the wings and to move out farther than it has before.
Yeah. This is for Rita. Yes.
Oh, Rita, sorry, I was still thinking about Pam. Maybe it's for Pam too. But Rita, that is actually goes with what I said too about the art. So there are parts of us that are sitting there waiting, and it's
Hmm.
in some cases it's time now.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay. Mia is next.
Okay, and I'm going to get. Oh, here's this one. Yes. Okay, this one is. I always get. Um, uh,
Expanding.
Expanding, yeah, I always get those 2 mixed up. But it really is, as you can see, it's, expanding parts of yourself. I see a lot of what look like little beings there, and maybe you're coming into a new time of really feeling, that you start to know parts of yourself that you haven't known before. And again, the center has that beautiful center in it that I think is really important. It's like you're in the center and all of these other parts of you are around you. And it's sort of like they've now developed a council. So they have different information for you. And they're going to help you with this expansion of who you are.
Oh, well, I got two. They wanted to both come. So one is the lesson in purple, uh, purple, violet,
Yeah.
purple.
Yep.
Yeah, purple. And the lesson in green. And green to me just says you're in a really, yeah, time of growth and expansion. And to pay attention to that heart chakra of yours, um, give it what it needs, and um, take time, take time for that. The lesson in purple, I'm it says to transcend your difficulties. And to me, I just feel like it's like when something comes up that can be like, oh, now I have to detour to do that, or now I have to, oh gosh, this is another thing I have to deal with. To look at it in a transcend that by shifting your mindset. Like, oh, this came up. That's curious. I wonder why. Well, okay, I'll deal with that, and then we'll, you know, um, maybe that'll clear up something I was not quite ready to get. You know what I mean? It's just quickly shifting that mindset into looking at it as a possibility for helping you in some way. Maybe it's a timing thing. It's like, well, I have to go do this. And wow, that because I had to do that, that allowed me then to be ready for what came next. That's what I'm getting.
I think that's wonderful. It just reminds me of what happened to Peter and I yesterday when I was opening an account at the bank. And the woman that helped us, we were going to do it the day before, and I just said, "Oh, I don't feel like doing it." Well, sometimes that's because there's a timing thing to it. So the young woman that we were with was just delightful, and is really interested in the kinds of things that we're doing here at Transformational Tools. So, we know this, but sometimes we kind of get distracted, or we get so focused that we're pushing past the things that we know. So,
Yep. All right. I think if I did not call your name, I missed somebody last week. So if I did not call your name, please quickly let us know by
and I'm
posting
looking
a
back
comment.
through everybody here.
I think we got everybody.
I think we did.
Yeah.
And thank you all for all of your comments. It makes it so
Mhm.
much more fun for everybody when you engage in that way. Yeah, I think we got everybody. All right. Well, friends, we're so glad you came, and please invite your friends. We are here to just give out blessings for all of us so that we can make it through this time, and that we can remember that we are here to stay steady, and it means that we have to be here with each other to help with that. And I'm going to put this up one more time so you can see it. Steadiness amidst uncertainty and expansion. Well, we got the expansion that came out, and uncertainty does come out, but again, it's how we feel about that. So take that with you, because the rest of this month, that is what we're working with energy wise. Love you. And we will see you next week.
Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.